here, so that's quite interesting. And I haven't met in person met anyone on the challenge either, because there's one other person I'm like that's been Cape Town based, and then everyone else is in Joburg. And the same is actually because Entelect's a contracting firm. Yeah. So the same is true for our. I haven't met anyone. There's some feedback now. So
yeah, I'm also getting it. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah, I make this.
Okay, cool. No problem. That's why we did the dry run at the, just before this too. I know so well. So I was saying, so the same is true for my team actually, because we're 3 based in Cape Town, 22 based in Joburg. So I've met the 3 in Cape Town, and then saw the other guys on video calls semesters. So it's interesting times actually.
Yeah.
Not
yeah, it must be weird. No? To actually have had. And you haven't come back to Joburg at all, and it's a team.
No, they had an opportunity end of last year, but it was just before the holidays.
Fair enough. And I've always been curious how I get the sense that the competition itself is run almost on a voluntary basis. The guys do it after hours in their own time. That was kind of the sense I got. Is that accurate, or is there time aside during the day to work on the game and the whole Entelect challenge as a whole?
Sorry, I'm getting a message here. We should move the conversation to voice chat, text chat, please. I think they're going to start with this streaming. I'm going to answer you right there. So yeah, just to recap the rules moving forward, please keep muted during the stream, and then if you're called upon for your turn, mute the stream, and then if you're playing it on separate speakers, and then unmute yourself, please. Great, and enjoy. I'll keep active in the text chat.
Cool. I'm just going to grab a glass of water and see for 2 minutes.
Cool.
getting crude, and we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the monsoon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a low, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on a full moon. And we're stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding.
Greetings, intergalactic travelers, and welcome to the finals of the Entelect Challenge 2021. Christian, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks, and you, Fabio.
I'm good. Just want to say a big thank you to MGG Studios for having us here live today.
Yeah, and another shout out to Comic-Con Africa. Thanks for hosting this incredible event with us. It's absolutely amazing. You've outdone yourself.
And our last sponsors is KFC. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Christian, how cool was that video?
It's absolutely amazing.
Fantastic.
I've been psyched this whole year throughout. Every time I see that video, I get goosebumps. Every time.
It is absolutely amazing. Now, today, we are going to show you what this challenge is all about. We're going to have the final tournament live here in studio, where we have the 8 finalists battle it out for their share of 200,000 Rand. And
To be crowned as the Entelect Challenge champion.
that's correct. Well, let's hyper jump right into it.
So, for the last decade, Entelect has been hosting an annual coding competition with a growing prize pool. At the start of every year, the Entelect Challenge team gathers at a secret location in Alpha Centauri, where we have our first ideation session.
It's ideation, not implementation, Christian.
As you said, Fabio, as you said. So in this session, we discuss the theme plus the initial mechanics that we will be putting in the game that we'll be hosting throughout the year. We update the mechanics, of course, as the year goes on to keep things fresh and interesting. Now, Contestants that take part in the Intellect Challenge are tasked to build a bot to play the game.
That's right, Christian. And the bot is the most important part of this. The players don't play themselves, they...
No, they build an artificial intelligence bot that plays the game for
That's
them.
correct.
Yeah. So they must either battle it out against each other or try to aim for a high score. So usually the theme is classic or retro. However, this year we ventured into the great unknown
That's correct.
by selecting a theme that would fit our architectural ambitions. The primary function of the challenge has always been to drive community interaction.
You know, because community is the most important thing, right?
Exactly.
Especially in South Africa. Yeah.
Definitely. And through that community interaction, Entelect has been able to get their name out there in a positive and interesting way. So let's have a look at the history of the Entelect Challenge.
That's
Fabio?
correct, thank you. The challenge found itself at much more humble beginnings in 2012, where it started out as the 100K challenge with the game Tron. As the years went by, it has evolved and has been fleshed out into the Entelect Challenge that we all know and love today, with the grand prize pool of 200,000 Rand.
That's a doubling in the prize pool, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe we can double it some more, Sashi. The challenge themes have ranged from Tron, Battle City, and Pac-Man in 2014. We branched out into Space Invaders in 2015 and Bomberman in 2016. Now, what is special about Bomberman?
Bomberman was our first multiplayer game where we could have up to 4 players simultaneously battling it out.
That is really cool. Then in 2017, we had Battleships, followed by Tower Defense in 2018 and Worms in 2019. And last year, what was our theme? Overdrive. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Where the contestants race to victory in these awesome bots. And didn't we have a surprise...
We did. We had an Easter egg reference to Elon Musk's Cybertruck in there.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Over the years, we also added surprise features or power-ups, and this has become the exciting mechanics of the modern Entelect Challenge. There are 2 rounds of new feature releases after the initial game for the second and third tournaments to keep things, you know, fresh and interesting. This year, for our 10th year anniversary, we decided to go bigger.
Thus, enter Galaxio. Drawing its roots from Agario.
No, wait, it's agar.io.
Potato. Yeah, who cares? So, our theme this year is a Battle Royale, winner-takes-all space arena game.
Kind of like Fortnite, right?
Yeah, kind of.
No.
Not really, but
okay.
like... Yeah. So, as an experienced pilot of your very own spacefaring craft, you are charting your way through the galaxy. Your ship is equipped with experimental technology that allows you to consume mass for energy. However, Fabio, you're not the only one that has this tech, right?
No, you're right. There are other bots and other contestants that have garnered this strategy and tech as well.
Exactly. They've incorporated the strategic advancements into their ships. And your goal is to gain enough mass to eclipse all the other players and remain the last ship standing. Do ships stand?
Do they have feet?
If they have feet, do they wear shoes?
You know what? Let's leave it to the contestants.
Yeah.
Let us know in the chat. Do you think ships can stand?
Exactly. So, as previously mentioned, in 2016, Bomberman could handle 4 players at the same time. But here at Entelect, growth isn't optional now.
And
is it, Fabio?
fellowship sets us up. Are we doing that thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do that. Yeah. Fellowship sets us apart, which is the community-driven aspect of the Entelect Challenge. Yeah. So this year we are able to simulate 8 to 10 players simultaneously.
That's a little bit incorrect. I'm gonna have to stop you right there. We can actually simulate matches of up to 100 bots. However, we did keep it to 8 or 10 just to keep things, you know, manageable.
Tiny, manageable. Makes sense. So by that number, that definitely makes this our biggest multiplayer game to date, right? I mean, whew. Guys, buckle up, warm up your engines, and get ready, player one.
The movie.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. As you travel through the universe, you are certainly going to come across many weird and wonderful things. As a precaution, we have put together a small guide of do's and don'ts. Asteroid field, don't. As you can imagine, any large rock formation flying through space possesses the danger to whatever comes into contact with it. You know, you have to navigate quite slowly through these fields, so it's going to slow you down. Gas cloud, don't. Avoiding a gas cloud should come as natural as avoiding a lingering fart. These acidic formations will damage your equipment and also eat away at mass, causing harm to you and your ship. Now, superfood, big do, please. Who doesn't like a good superfood? I don't mean those things those health freaks talk about.
Like kale.
Definitely not kale.
Not kale.
Not kale. This is the real stuff. Eat this, and whatever you consume in the next few moments will double. Food, do. I mean, fundamental of the game. It is food, mass, energy. It should come as no surprise that you should be chasing after it before gearing up for bigger and better targets.
Like chasing after KFC, right?
Chasing after KFC, that's correct. Wormhole, do. But at your own discretion. Who knows where these mysterious forces of the universe lead? Like to my mother-in-law. But they can save you from a pinch or take you straight into the jaws of the enemy.
Speaking of being taken straight into the jaws of the enemy, let's have a look at the basics of how to survive and the mechanics while you're there out in the big unknown. So first up, we've got forward. Yes, quite the literal interpretation. One must venture forward. Nothing ventured, no mass gained.
But
Next up, shield. I mean, no ship, no spacefaring ship is complete without a shield. So activate it to temporarily divert all power to your shields and to ward off incoming torpedo salvos. The afterburner. Sometimes you might find yourself and another entity racing towards the same objective. They might have a head start ahead of you, but don't worry. Activate your afterburner and zoom past them to victory and glory. Torpedoes.
Yes,
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that a good offense is the best defense, right, Fabio?
yeah, of course.
Exactly. So it should come to no surprise that your craft is equipped with matter transfer torpedoes.
MTT for
or
short. Yeah.
MTT for short, indeed. And you use these to hinder your foe and gain mass yourself.
So basically, they are life-stealing torpedoes.
In essence.
Very cool.
In
Very
essence.
cool.
Teleporter. The scientists in this universe have mastered the point of disintegration. So what that means is you can fire off a torpedo and you can instantaneously disintegrate and reintegrate
What,
at the point.
disintegrate?
Not just you teleport.
Do you integrate?
You integrate.
Integrate,
You
okay, integrate.
At the
Integrate
point
at the point of the
where the
torpedo.
torpedo
Okay.
is at. And then
Isn't
finally,
it good for avoiding responsibilities?
it is good for avoiding responsibilities. Also for closing the
Closing
gap
the gap.
between yourself and the enemy.
That reminds me, avoiding responsibilities. I didn't make my bed this morning.
Ah, Fabio. So, last but not least, we're going to talk about the supernova. Weapon specialists were able to concentrate large gas clouds into a teleported torpedo. And they've nicknamed this the supernova. But as you can imagine, having that large amount of gas in such a small space causes some complications. And the teleporter in the torpedoes have activated and they don't know where it is. So you might come across it when you're battling a foe. It might just appear randomly on the map.
So what that means is the contestants have to find that supernova in the map. So they spawn randomly.
Yeah, spawns
Same time,
randomly
cool.
and you have to pick it up.
So now that we've gone through those mechanics, we're going to just discuss the tournaments. You know, the Entelect Challenge is made up of 3 tournaments and a final event. Our first tournament, Pulsar Kick, was on the 1st of May, followed by Nova on the 19th of June, and our third tournament, Supernova, took place on the 28th of August. And today, the 9th of October, we have Hypernova, the final event. For every tournament, there is a deadline by which you need to submit your bot. Thereafter, the tournament is held and the winners are determined. The tournament works as follows. Players' bots are pitted against one another in a series of matches, which are determined by the size of the participant pool. Each and every player's bot will take part in a number of matches. And that number being
42.
42. You know, into, what's that movie from?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Hitchhiker's
Galaxy.
Guide, yeah, it's
and,
great.
you know,
In every match, the bot will play alongside 7 to 9 bots. And the reason why it's not uniform is because maths, effectively.
essentially, yeah. So, moving along, let's have a look at our first tournament, Pulsar Kick. And a big congratulations to Neumann Bot, who secured himself a golden ticket by taking first place. Well done, Timothy.
And a golden ticket means he got a direct entry to this final event.
Exactly.
Awesome. So early in the year, 1st of May.
Priority ticket.
Tournament 2, Nova, McBotface, who is no stranger to the Entelect Challenge, won himself a golden ticket as well.
Cool. So, after the first 2 tournaments, there were still 6 tickets up for grabs. So, naturally, those 6 tickets went straight to the top 6 finalists of Tournament 3, Supernova. As you can see, each of the 8 finalists today will walk away with a prize, with the minimum prize being 10,000 Rand in cash. And that going up all the way to the winner, taking away 70,000 Rand in cash.
Christian, tell me, what would you do with 70,000 Rand?
With 70,000 Rand, I would buy 7 PlayStation 5s if they were in stock.
Yeah, so you've got 70,000 Rand in cash there.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. Yeah, that's it. So, also, we have some spot prizes up for grabs for the viewers of today's final event. And we will be running these via Twitter. So please, stay tuned and keep your eyes and ears open.
Yeah, we are also running spot prizes on our Twitch via Comic-Con, so please watch out for that. And so now it's time to introduce the rest of your 8 finalists, well, all of your 8 finalists actually. Some of these people are in studio with us today, so you will get to meet them later. Timothy Foster with Neumann Bot, Rian Null with MacBotface, Leroy Dunn with Leroy Bot. Good name, right?
Yeah.
Richard McKenzie with Darkstar, Aman Yassin with Yassin Bot, another original there. Bjorn Liebenberg with Net Nickname. Unfortunately, he is not with us today. Javi Juster with Borg Cube, and Purpose Katakwa with Blue Whale.
So, how about we jump into the first spot prize?
I think that's a good
Fabio?
idea. Let's do this. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Let's give
All right.
people something.
All
Let's do
right,
this.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's give something away. So, ladies and gentlemen, how long has the Entelect Challenge been around for?
And if you get it right, you get a 200 Rand KFC voucher.
Yeah. So please, tweet your answers at Entelect using the hashtag Entelect Challenge.
So once again, how long has the Entelect Challenge been around for?
All right.
At Entelect, hashtag Entelect Challenge.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's have a look at what the finals setup will be. So, this year's final event will be slightly different than previous years, Fabio. Why is that?
Well, in the past, we had a round-robin style event where the winners of the matches will progress while the other contestants were eliminated. However, things are working slightly different today, Christian, because with this multiplayer game that we made, we couldn't just play a round-robin game because like the combinations is insane. So there will be 5 rounds of 20 matches. And the leaderboard will continuously update after each round until we have our 8 finalists in their respective positions at the end of round 5.
So, if my math is correct, that means there's 100 matches being played today.
100 matches. We're not going to show all 100 matches, unfortunately, because we can't stay here for 3 hours. We're going to show snippets and highlights of the 20 matches through the rounds. Yeah.
Makes sense, makes sense. All right, well then, let's have a look. And without further ado, let's have a look at some of the highlights and things happening in round one.
We're just going through the contestants quickly here. All bots look the same. They've got a little nickname on top of them. Identifying match.
Looks like where the Ring of Fire looks photo. A lot of damage to your ship.
I believe we are going into round 1.
Let's start. Oh, that was a quick absorb thing.
Yeah, that was a teleport there from MacBotface.
Playing around there in the gas clouds that we told you to avoid, though.
Yeah, so the gas clouds there will take damage as we're going through the asteroid fields. Will slow you down. You see when we're jumping between the two shots there.
Oh,
That
teleporter.
Yeah, that blue rocket that you see flying is the teleporter. So look out for that every time you see a teleport there from MacBotface. When the contestants bots, their exhaust flames glow green, that means they are using the afterburner.
I
And
see.
remember, the afterburner, you takes a little bit of your mass away,
But it gives you a significant
gives you a significant speed boost. Especially when you're a large bot, the larger you are, the slower it goes. So sometimes it is needed.
There you can see the torpedoes going through that wormhole and not actually hitting the bomb.
Yeah, so when torpedoes go through a wormhole, they kind of go out that wormhole on the other side as well, which is really cool.
That was a quick double take.
Yeah, we see the early game here. That little blue shining thing in the middle of the screen, that is the supernova Borg cube collecting that supernova. Will he fire it off this match? We'll see.
Seems to be holding on maybe as a grand trump card. Eating someone there.
You see some amazing teleportation from Borg Cube, avoiding some of the advances from my MacBotface. Probably went on to win that match. Here we see Yasin bot on top left of our screen, playing around with Borg Cube as well. They are quite small compared to the larger, I think, MacBotface there. I might be wrong.
Interesting how they are peppering him with the torpedo salvos.
There's a nice chase going on here. Just reminder to all the viewers out there, this is all controlled via bot. This is incredible stuff. You see Borg Cube there throwing his torpedoes. Every time he clicks, we just throw another torpedo.
Throwing torpedoes as well as a...
You see Borg Cube there teleported through a wormhole into danger. Like you said, wormholes can lead to danger. But let's see what he can do against Darkstar. He is managing a massive TP from your center.
Yasin bot just absolutely decimating him there.
Borg Cube has been using that teleporter as an avoiding technique quite well, I'm not going to lie.
Yasin bot has been using his shields quite well as well. Like every time there was a salvo from Borg
I think
Cube,
this is a snippet from that same match. We have Borg Cube. I think he will end up winning that match. That was incredible. From being the smallest in the map to the
to actually winning in there.
Yeah, we're seeing Blue Whale with a TP. Let's see if he uses it.
Teleport,
Trifecta, MacBotface with a Korean, with a double whammy there. Incredible
just
scenes.
quickly stealing those absorbs.
Yeah, so absorbing those bots quite nicely.
Yes. Here a little bit. Teleporter should be
Blue Whale now.
Keep just launching.
That is a supernova.
There goes the supernova.
Launch. Let's see. Onto MacBotface. A little bit early. But let's see what MacBot. Oh, he TP's into the supernova. That's an interesting move. That's an interesting move.
He just tanks it. He's got enough.
Yeah, we see. I think Blue Whale ended up winning that round as well.
Right.
Another supernova from MacBotface. I think he will snipe both of those two.
Absolutely decimates those two players.
Yeah, absolutely incredible scenes there.
What's happening here?
We have quite a few bots on screen now. MacBotface with the TP absorbing. Human bot there in the gas cloud, losing some health, also taking fire from MacBotface. MacBotface comes and absorbs him again.
Good plays from him.
Yeah, good plays. Blue Whale, we see him capture the supernova, doing some interesting tactics there. That looks quite interesting there. Noteworthy stuff right there, yeah. This is quite a trifecta of bots. Crazy action. I don't even know what's going on. It's too fast for me to even commentate. I'm not even going to lie. As you see MacBotface there, moving quite slowly because he's large. Can't catch up to Borg Cube. He's moving significantly faster.
Exactly. So he rather goes for the food, it seems.
Yeah.
Interesting tactic again from Borg Cube. As he gains massful torpedoes, he just launches the salvos to...
Whether or not that is a good technique, we'll leave that for the analysts to analyze.
Aha!
Let's see how we have Darkstar.
Some early gameplay.
I think he went through a wormhole there. There's Darkstar there. following Newman bot, it seems. On the screen, you'll see green and yellow dots. The green dots are your food, and the yellow dots are your superfood. So remember, when you consume
Doubles any mass
doubles
you gain
mass, yeah.
temporarily. Botface is absolutely dominating there.
absolutely
with his
dominating with his
size.
size there. Nice maneuvering from Leaderbot. Oh,
Oh.
unfortunately, he got stuck in a little loop there.
Racing bot just got absorbed by my Botface.
Botface
Botface
using that
doing
teleport
another.
quite well, I'm not going to lie. Let's see what
Yes.
happens at the end of this match.
Closer.
Nickname there. We just call him Nick from now on.
Nick. Jolly old Nick.
Yeah, we see 7 contestants in screen. That is quite insane. You know, all of these are running individual bots at the same time. It's mind-blowing, the technology that we
It
were
is.
able to create.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. From the team at Entelect to design this is a mammoth
Kudos
event.
to our engineers.
Kudos
that
to the
was
engineers. We see Ballcube
Botface just
chasing us in bot.
Yeah.
What will happen?
dominating this map.
He's taking some fire from behind. Nice
Oh, but he
teleport to avoid the
Avoid.
burst.
interesting enough just taking that peppering.
He is taking that
Racing bot.
peppering from us in. We'll have to see whether or not. There
Oh.
we go. Nice teleport
cheeky teleport,
consumption there. Darkstar is still in it though. He's got some food in front of him, so he can make up that mass.
Oh,
Fortunately, he doesn't. Nice supernova from, I believe that was Mac Botface.
oh, just on Ballcube, the poor man.
The benefit of getting small is that you can move a lot quicker, so you can run away from the monsters.
Get rid of the monsters.
Ballcube going back into that supernova, that's quite interesting. Or maybe it's just the perspective of the camera.
Yes.
I won't lie, the camera angles and it's quite
Good camera
camera
angling there.
angling. Yeah.
Good camera angling.
we see Ballcube there. Same tactic, kind of capturing the food and just sending those torpedoes.
Keeping
Away
using
all over
the-
the place, using those wormholes quite effectively. Nice.
Using his movement quite well, but unfortunately couldn't evade it. So
Now that was the end of round 1. That was exciting, Christian. What do you
that,
think?
that was actually, yeah. Like, that's just the start of everything. I think there's many more things to go, and I, for one, am very excited.
Yeah, so without any further ado, let's just look at the results after round 1. In 8th place, we have Net, nickname. 7th place, we have Leroy Bot, followed by Newman Bot. And in 5th place, we have Dark Star.
Yeah. Coming in 4th place is Yasin Bot, followed closely by Bluewell in 3rd place, McBotface in 2nd place, and a narrow victory from Borgcube, taking the #1 spot after round 1.
That is a really cool looking first round leaderboard.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we've said enough.
Agreed?
Let's get the analysts in. Let them dissect it. These are the engineers that worked on the game. They know it to the core.
All right.
So let's have a look.
So, our analysts on the panelists.
Analysts
Here
on
they
the-
come.
Welcome to the panel for this the analysis today. So I'm joined with the other engineers that coded this year's game engine, and we're really excited to see what the players have come up with and how they've managed our game. So I'll start us off firstly by talking about how McBotface really used teleporters very strategically well in that game, and how he positioned himself not only to absorb food, but also to absorb other players, and also using it at times to tactically escape from other encroaching players. So it'll be interesting to see if that tactic remains a big one throughout the rest of the rounds.
Yeah, and just a quick shout out to one of our other engineers, IB, is working behind the cameras today to bring a great show for us, along with all the other great people here at MGG. It was an absolutely amazing first round. Really, really great to see what all happened there. There was an absolutely amazing parry by McBotface with Wallcube. And Wallcube, they're really using the wormholes to get a well-timed escape in. We also see Wallcube being very good offensively with his torpedoes, but also really managing to set himself up well for the evasion. And when those torpedoes come in, he's missing that counterattack. He's getting away from it really, really well.
There was also very good tactical use against Wallcube of the Supernova, and the player very barely managed to not get eliminated during that round. And it's very encouraging for us as the engineers to see that the players actually incorporated Supernova to that extent. It was one of the final features we added for this round, and we added it to see if we can spice up the game a bit to make a game-changing move for the players. So I'm glad to see that they're actually using it for that purpose.
Yes, Yana, and seeing these bots maneuver these gas clouds is also very important to add to their list of tactics. And speaking of tactics, overall, there were a lot of really good skirmishes in this round. We've seen some David and Goliath action where there were some smaller bots trying to steal a little bit of size from the bigger ones. This is obviously a game of resource management and how we manage these resources, whether you're a bigger bot hoarding all of your resources or a small little bot expanding your resources as soon as you get them. Not all tactics are the best in this case, but it'll be a combination of these tactics that will really prevail. And we'll see how that works out over the next couple of rounds.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's been a great first round, showing us a great demo of all those different mechanics the bots can choose and use. And we're really keen to see how this develops throughout the next few. Let's up next, let's welcome up Leroy Dunn, and we're going to hear a little bit from him as one of the contestants for the game.
Welcome to us here in the studio, Leroy. How are you doing?
Much, man. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling about that first round?
I'm a little bit disappointed. So I saw the final results. I think my bot could have done better, but I'm hopeful for the upcoming rounds.
No, don't worry, man. It was looking very good. So let's jump right into the questions.
Sure.
If I'm not mistaken, you were taking part in the Entelect Challenge a few years ago.
Yeah.
What made you come back this year?
So I just really wanted to stretch myself. So I work with websites and apps on a daily basis, and I don't really get the opportunity to work with games or strategy in any way. So I thought it was a really good opportunity. And besides, I always found competitive programming just interesting and fun. And yeah, for those reasons, I decided to enter again.
Now, that sounds very cool. Leroy. And speaking of reasons for joining the Entelect Challenge, would you consider the challenge to be a good chance to improve your skills?
Yes, so absolutely. I think you face a different set of challenges, really. For instance, I had to brush up on my geometry and my trigonometry and actually apply it in code. So yeah, I think overall, it's a different way of thinking, and in the process, you learn a lot from it.
Yeah, that's very true. A lot of new things, right?
Yeah,
out of the norm. And then last question before we go back to the regularly scheduled program.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for new players who wants to jump in next year?
I think my biggest piece of advice would be to submit regularly. So in this challenge, you actually have the opportunity to submit more than once, and I think people should really take advantage of that. I've actually made the mistake in the past where I've envisioned this like really spectacular, intense machine learning bot, and I just never actually got the chance to complete it and submit it. So in that year, all my effort was wasted. So I think what worked for me, at least this year, is submitting regularly and minor changes. And yeah, clearly it worked because I'm in the top 8. So that would be my biggest piece of advice.
Yeah, it definitely worked, Leroy. Well, thanks for joining us here in the studio today. And we'll be handing over back to the guys.
Awesome.
Greetings and welcome to Getting Started with Godot. First things first, why would you want to use the Godot game engine? Well, the Godot game engine is open source, making it free as in speech, which is pretty cool, and it has its own custom scripting language known as GDScript, which is very intuitive and easy to learn and looks a lot like Python. Godot is also very lightweight and runs on just about anything. Additionally, Godot uses nodes as its fundamental building block, allowing you to organize and reuse your code. Now that that's out of the way, let's see how you can get started with Godot. First things first, we'll head on over to godotengine.com in our browser, which will take us to the Godot landing page. Over here you can see the nicely designed website, which looks absolutely beautiful. We're going to head over to the download section. Over here we can download two versions of Godot, the standard version or the mono version. Standard comes with GDScript and the mono version supports C#. Choose whichever you like. Once your download finished, you can go ahead and open the Godot game engine, click on New Project, give it a name and select a location for your project. After that, we'll be selecting between OpenGL 2 or OpenGL 3. For this demo, we'll be selecting OpenGL 3. We can click on Create and Edit Project, and this will open up the Godot editor window. As you can see, we're plopped right into the 3D editor window. We'll go ahead and switch over to 2D, as this demo will be for a 2D project. Firstly, we'll see the window in the center of the screen, surrounded by our file system at the bottom left corner. At the top left corner we have our scene view, and at the right side we have our object inspector. We'll be using these windows mostly throughout this demo. So yeah, in this video we went through various reasons why Godot is very cool, as well as how to install Godot and get it running on your local machine. In the next video we will go over Godot's node system as well as scenes, and a brief overview of GDScript, and we'll start with making our very own spider.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that small little ad break. That was our own modern day offensive from Entelect with a cool introduction to Godot.
Yeah. Watching this, I think I might actually make that platform my Godot 2 platform for dev gaming.
Christian? No dad jokes.
Oh, come
Sorry.
on. Man. All right. So let's have a look. We've got a winner for our first spot prize. So just a reminder, the question was, how long has the Entelect Challenge been around for?
Christian, before we go into the answer, what was your answer?
My answer? Oh, give or take, let's say about 10 years, 8 years.
I don't know, this year has been like 15 years in and of itself, so 25 at least.
25 at least. So we want to say congratulations to @FrenchMaster. Well done, you have won yourself a 200 Rand KFC voucher for guessing correctly that it's been 10 years that the Entelect Challenge has been running.
That is crazy. That is, yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. So we'll be in contact with you to get your prize to you.
Thank you. And now moving on to our spot prize, question 2. Question, what was the name of the Entelect Challenge's last multiplayer game? You'll also win a 200 Rand KFC voucher.
Yeah, so that question again, what was the name of the Entelect Challenge last multiplayer game?
Remember, send your answers to #EntelectChallenge @Entelect.
Exactly. And moving along, let's have a look at the overall leaderboard after round 1.
And in 8th place we have nickname. Nick. We'll call him Nick, right?
Nick.
Yeah.
Good old Nick.
Leroy Bot in 7th, Newman Bot in 6th, and Darkstar in 5th.
And then obviously Yasin Bot in 4th, Bluewell in 3rd, McBotface in 2nd, and Borg Cube in 1st place.
Yes. Now, we are moving on to round 2. Will Borg Cube keep his lead, or will the likes of Yasin or McBotface rise?
Who knows? We'll only be able to find out as we watch.
Let's get into it. Round 2, everyone. Starting out from a nice wide angle here, looking at all the bots facing off in the early game.
Starting off with a few salvos and like farming the food.
Nice Yasin Bot with a nice teleport consumption there.
Borg Cube sticking to his strategy of firing and eating.
Eating and firing at the same time. It's like, has anyone ever told you don't eat when you're on the toilet?
No, nobody's ever told me that.
That should be natural, exactly. No one should actually tell you that.
Moving along, you see Yasin Bot skirting around that gas cloud over there, avoiding it like a lingering fart.
I said you must avoid it like a lingering spot. We have Darkstar in the center of the page. Borcube with a TP in. Let's see if he can challenge Darkstar. Remember him using that afterburner to try and gain some
interesting.
speed.
Yeah. Fortunately, he did take some beat. He did take a beating from both Yasin and Darkstar.
He's receiving torpedo salves from both Yasin and Darkstar there. So quite incredible scenes at the moment. It's a nice four-way attack at the moment. Let's see who comes out on top. Borcube there just consumed that bot. Nickname there. Nick right at the bottom there. Let's see what he does. I haven't seen much action from him. He's been really good at consuming the food, but we'll leave that to the analysts. Darkstar there, using that wormhole effectively to escape imminent danger.
Darkstar doing a boogie around.
Yeah, looks like he's doing a dance. Let's see if Borcube can snipe him there. Nice snipe there by Borcube.
Yeah.
Human bot.
Interesting. You see how the torpedoes hit the asteroids and they don't go through, they actually destroy the asteroids.
100% correct, yeah. The torpedoes cannot be shot through the asteroid field. However, they do destroy it, so you can actually fire away a path through the asteroids, but I don't know if that's the best. Yeah, we have Newman bot. See, all the food has been consumed in this match. That is incredible efficiency from all the bots.
TP away by Borcube there.
Yeah, Borcube takes the win. Some interesting stuff happening there.
Yes.
Yeah, we have another some more scenes. MacBotface with incredible TP usage there.
Man. Absolutely amazing, just thinking that it's AI just making these decisions. It's AI making these decisions.
Isn't that scary? Are you scared?
Very, very much so. They're going to take over the world, you know?
I don't know, not what MacBotface is doing right there, you know? You can't make a decision. No, I'm just kidding. You know, it is actually really incredible seeing these AI bots making these decisions. And you know what? This is the first game this year. It wasn't like you had a second to make a decision. You had to make a decision every 100 or so milliseconds, kind of more into reality. So it is Supernova from MacBotface.
Man.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Every time.
Three bots caught in that Supernova.
1, 2, and third one
down.
Three people with one Supernova.
That's pretty good.
Oh, some fancy camera work.
Fancy camera work.
Fancy. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
No, I do take pride in my camera work.
Yeah, you're a natural. You're a natural.
Yeah, we have Nick. I just call him Nick. I always say that. See Nick, he's running away from that gas cloud, from that supernova. Let's see if he can. He's been really efficient at consuming food, but I haven't seen much torpedo usage from him.
No, not really.
Gets consumed there by Darkstar. Darkstar with a double, triple TP consumption. Let's see if he can do the quadruple. No, maybe it was worth it, you know.
Yeah, well, I think it's worth it. You can take out 3 players, and he's got enough mass to spare.
He's got enough mass to spare. He looks like he's taken quite a lot of damage, though, from that supernova. We have
One could say it's a massive bot.
It is a massive bot, yeah, because the bots have mass.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, we see the end game of between the 3 bots. We have Leroy bot. I think we have Darkstar on the top corner. I can't remember. Yeah, we see another TP.
Goes in. Salvo's just flying between the 2.
Awesome exchange between. Darkstar does end up winning that match. That was incredible scenes from Darkstar. Moving on to the next match, we have Yasin chasing Darkstar. Will Darkstar win another match, or will he get consumed in the early game? Yasin, some interesting stuff.
Just missing.
Using that wormhole effectively to exit. Blue Whale consumes Yasin after chasing Darkstar for such a long time. Nice supernova usage from MacBotface again.
The small bot reduces the mass of poor Neumann bot, I think, there by quite a substantial amount.
Well, let's see what ends up happening at this end. We see Blue Whale going through the gas cloud. The gas cloud doesn't slow you down. It takes a lot of damage off you, so you must try avoid it at all costs. Unfortunately, sometimes you get so big, you actually grow into a gas cloud, which is quite interesting.
That is interesting.
Awesome camera work again from the...
Right, TP going
we see Darkstar at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen with Borcube, also quite massive. MacBotface with a massive... I think that was like triple consumption. He has grown... I had to zoom out. Incredible scenes right now.
Getting peppered.
No, he is hiding himself quite nicely behind those asteroid fields from the player in the
that shield. He didn't take any damage.
He took virtually no damage there. Yeah, we see Blue Whale at the bottom of our screen. torpedo, Salvo. He consumed that bot nicely. Another consumption. Blue Whale has really been using his torpedoes extremely, his teleporters extremely well. And I've also seen good TP usage from Ballcube as well. Not just offensively, also defensively.
Definitely. Avoiding responsibilities and, you know, managing the gap between himself
Avoiding
and the
your
enemy.
mother-in-law as well. It's also little.
Another TP going off. Definitely couldn't avoid it.
Blue Whale with the size advantage at the moment, but there's still a lot of food to go around in this round. He cancelled.
But he launches
nice
the
supernova for the win. That is an incredible
that was
snipe.
a guaranteed win.
Yeah. Trifecta here with Ballcube consuming again. Newman bot there, trapped by the gas cloud.
Gets absolutely demolished by that gas cloud.
He does get demolished. Macbot face with the size disadvantage, however, he's being more efficient and nice. As I was saying, I've seen Ballcube use that defensive teleport very well. Unfortunately,
couldn't escape
Macbot face there. Yeah, with Ballcube, the size advantage in the beginning of the match. That ended very quickly. Bad camera work.
Making their way downtown, walking fast. Oh, no way. That was a quick absorb. Ballcube.
Yeah, we see Macbot face with the size advantage over Darkstar. Can Darkstar claw it back by using efficient use of his increased speed? And the fact that Macbot face cannot consume any more food when you reach a certain size. Yeah, we're following Blue Whale. Looks like Macbot face has been quite a formidable force in these rounds. Let's see if Blue Whale can defeat his foe. Looks like he can. Nice, incredible usage there from Blue Whale. Defeating Macbot face. It seems like when you defeat Macbot face in the beginning of the round, you do have your chance of winning slightly higher. Yeah, we can see Blue Whale probably ending up winning this match as well.
Doing a little victory dance.
A little victory dance, yeah. I think he's preemptively victory dance.
Me.
Here comes a barrage of torpedoes.
Blue Whale just...
Another win there from Macbot, from Blue Whale. Now that was the end of round 2. Also, incredible scenes again. Like, every time I watch these matches, it is still mind-blowing that it's a computer doing that.
Absolutely. And I think it just gets more exciting as the rounds go on. Let me kick us off. Let's see. In 8th place for this round, we've got good old nickname.
Nickname.
Yeah. 7th place, we've got a Leroy Bot. And in 6th place, it is Neumann Bot with 5th place belonging to Dark Star.
Yes, and in 4th place, we have Macbot face. That is quite interesting. I didn't expect him to be that low. But let's see what happens. We saw a lot from him, but maybe he just didn't quite come through with it in that round. You know, 3rd place, we've got Blue Whale. And then 2nd place, Ballcube. And in 1st place, Yasin Bot. That is just a quick reminder, everyone. Aman Yasin is the youngest competitor in the Entelect Challenge history. That is incredible.
That is something to be proud of.
Just a reminder, this is only the results of this last round. We're going to give you the overall results after the analysts join us on screen now.
Well, I guess we're back here with you again, and that was an absolutely amazing round that we've seen there. It started out with a lot more back and forth than we've seen in round 1. A lot of dogfighting going on, a lot of trading going on. We saw a lot of bots getting the upper hand, getting big early on, and then out of nowhere we saw bots coming out the sides, coming out the weeds, and struggling, like really peppering these big bots, really making them fight to keep that size. We also saw, seems like Newman bot was trying to go for a supernova at one point, and then he got surrounded by gas clouds and asteroid fields, and he just got completely lost, had no idea where he was going next, what he was planning on doing next. And we're seeing this from quite a few bots in this round, you know, where they're getting stuck in these positions, doing a little bit of the dance around, you know, back and forth, and clearly we're seeing a little bit maybe of the limits of the AI decision-making capabilities.
Yes, and on that note, quite a few bots don't seem to be updating their map of obstacles fast enough, as when the supernova gas clouds start to spawn, they seem to be completely aware, while others seem to be racing out as soon as they hit, keeping up with that avoid the lingering fart strategy. This definitely affects the influence of the game, as a bot can be caught unaware.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we see this sort of awareness issue coming up a couple times there, where there's a cluster of bots, everyone sort of gets stuck in the dance off, everyone's not entirely sure what to do, and then the world's shrinking and shrinking, and eventually someone gets an understanding of what they need to do next day. They trigger, they start to go doing something, and that just triggers a chain reaction where we see the whole field then actually decide, oh, someone moved, so I guess I have to too, and then everyone's actually off to the races again and back onto the actual pursuit.
Yeah, we've also seen that if bots get really big and they have implemented the teleporters aggressively and in a good way, they become so dangerous because they have then the ability to move accurately and quickly across the entire map, essentially being able to eat anyone if they've implemented that teleporter correctly. It'll be interesting to see if there's any way to counteract this in the future rounds, or if any bots have counteracted this behavior, and if offense really is the best defense in this game.
Absolutely, I'm very keen to see what the teleporter mechanic builds out to being like in the next few rounds. In the meantime, let's hear a little bit from another interview. We're going to go to one of our contestants, Timothy Foster.
Welcome back to the interview section. And we have Timothy Foster dialed in virtually. How are you doing, Timothy? It's good to hear, good to hear. So my first question to you is, have you entered into the Entelect Challenge before, or is this your first year? So it seems we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Okay, we're back. So the next question, what would you do differently when you enter the Entelect Challenge again next year?
The challenge as well. So just finding time to kind of is kind of the most important thing, I'd say. Yeah, and keep it simple. You don't have to build neural networks, which is maybe takes too much time to do that, you know?
Yeah, well, that makes sense. You know, small iterations, you'll get there.
Yeah.
And then my final question before we hand over, what did you like about this year's challenge?
I love the multiplayer aspect of it. You guys flexing your AWS infrastructure. I thought that was really cool that we could just have all the bots competing simultaneously. So yeah, I really enjoyed the multiplayer vibe and the real-time nature, you know, like not turn-based, but everybody making decisions at the same time is really cool.
Yeah, our guys put in a lot of effort to make it as fun as possible for you guys. Well, thanks for joining us virtually. We'll be moving over to our next ad break.
Yeah, great, thanks.
In this demo, we'll be creating a player-controlled spider. So we'll get started by creating a 2D scene. We'll rename this node to demo world and create a tile map node called world inside of it. Inside this tile map node, we will paint our world by simply using a stock texture and the mouse. Once we've finished building some basic obstacles for our spider, we can move on to creating the player character. For this, we will create a new 2D scene with a sprite node attached to the parent node. To load a texture into a sprite, we can simply head on over to the texture resource, click on the little drop-down arrow, click load, and navigate to the sprites we have stored on our file system. So you can see we have a little spider sprite, so we'll just load that up, and lo and behold, there's our spider. Next, we'll make the spider's leg. The leg consists of 3 parts: the upper leg, the middle leg, and the lower leg. We will lay them out, as you can see, in the scene view, so that they are parented to each other. This will allow us to more easily rotate the segments of the leg and also let that rotation pass on to the lower segments. So you can see that if we hit the rotate, we can see that the lower parts rotate with it. So we'll simply be writing a script to rotate that for us. To write a script, we'll head on over to the scripting section. And there's a lot of math going on here that I'm not going to bore you with, so we'll skip over that. Heading back to our spider, we've created 2 containers, one for the right legs and one for the left legs. And in each one, we've instanced 3 copies of our leg scene that we created. This spider has 6 legs. I know spiders have 8 legs, but this one has 6 legs. So yeah, we'll add those as children to these containers, and then we'll just need to make the spider aware of its legs by writing a script. To reference a scene from within the script, we can use the dollar operator. As you can see, we just grab all the legs, and then we can reference them in code. There's also a lot of math going on here that I'm not going to bother you with, but the gist of it is that we just loop over the legs and make them walk. So in this video we had a brief overview of nodes, scenes in GDScript, and we started working on our spider. In the next video we will go over raycasts. So what are they, how do they work, where do they come from, as well as how to run your game, build it and run it. And then we'll also finish making our spider demo and see our final results.
Thank you again, Mornay Fenter, for that little snippet of the Godot engine. It's quite a creepy spider, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's got 6 legs.
Got 6, yeah.
By definition, but
Not one of my friends is a doctor in arachnids, I think, and she would cringe if she had to see that. But you know, anyway.
All right, let's talk about our second spot prize question winner. So, reminder: what was the name of the Entelect Challenge's last multiplayer game? And the following person will be winning themselves a 200 Rand KFC voucher. And that person is Wayne, which has a very interesting Twitter handle @0 or @OY_I_Y0.
That's not an I. It's not an I.
That's an I. What is that?
Pipe.
It's a pipe. Oh, it's a pipe function. I see. So he's actually writing code for Twitter.
He's writing code for Twitter, yeah.
Definitely. But well done, Wayne. We'll be in contact and get you your prize.
But before we move on, what was the answer?
Oh, of course. The answer was, of course, Bomberman in 2016, where you could play 4 players simultaneously.
Yeah, and how much can we play this year again? Just remind me. Remind the audience.
We can play over 100 players simultaneously.
It's like PUBG level stuff.
Yeah, that's more than 25 times our previous multiplayer count.
We're basically better than PUBG. That's what I'm saying.
Moving along, singing a song.
Yes, moving along and singing that song. And that song is the Spot Prize Question 3. What is the name of the developer behind the game that inspired Galaxio? Now remember, the name of the developer behind the game that inspired. So what is the game that inspired? Are you allowed to say?
I say potato.
I say potato.
So I say Agario.
You said Agario, isn't it Bomberman?
No. So
what is the name of the developer behind the game that inspired Galaxio? You will win yourself a 200 Rand KFC voucher. Remember.
Yeah. Tweet us @Entelect using the hashtag Entelect Challenge, please. All right. Let's have a look at the overall leaderboard after round 2. So, coming in at 8th place is Nick, good old Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
7th is Leroy. 6th is Neumannbot. And number 5 is Dark Star.
Yeah, moving into the top 4, we have Blue Whale in 4th, Yasin Bot in 3rd, Mac Botface still in 2nd place. No, he wasn't. He was in 4th place.
Oh, yeah, he moved up.
He moved up. That was some good, yeah. And then Borcube remains in 1st place, everyone. So now, without any further ado, let's move right to round 3 and see where the action takes us.
Indeed. So, starting off in round 3, good missile salvo, but not good enough as my Botface quickly conceals the foe that dares oppose him.
Like Botface with a supernova. He fires off a supernova, doesn't even care. He just fires off and starts torpedoing someone else. That's incredible. Good decision making, yeah.
Oh, he's in another win. I think it's safe to say Botface
takes this one, yeah. Normally when you have the size advantage that like Botface does have, you normally end up winning those matches because you can just snowball out of control. Back Botface with a TP into the Supernova and instantaneously goes for Yasin, but Yasin does manage to update his game object via his parameters and escape the Supernova. Unfortunately, he's going back into it. Interesting. Yeah, we see a TP coming into Yasin and Blue Whale with a double, triple TP. That was incredible. And a fourth one, guys. That's that is a nice.
Oh, is it
a
a
fifth? It's a penta kill. Consumption. Yeah, we have Blue Whale cleaning.
Blue Whale just destroying.
I think in all the matches that I watched, this was the quickest match.
He basically took them all.
He took them all out. It was really incredible. Blue Whale, some interesting tactics there again. You know, maybe he can tell us what he thought about that at a later stage. We have Ballcube consuming Mech Botface, I believe. Using that teleport as well. Another.
Going after bot there.
Yeah, we see that smaller bot using that afterburner to get out of the way. Good usage. I have seen Ballcube use afterburner the most effectively in this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yasin bot is coming in. Kill.
Consumption.
Oh! The moment he TP'd in, just got hit by a barrage.
Yasin bot with the massive size advantage. Unfortunately, he grew in size in the gas cloud, so he is going to take significant amounts of damage. Yeah, we see a torpedo from Yasin. Let's see if it connects. No, it has missed everyone.
Lightly veers off, but
wormhole usage there.
Get out of the way of the torpedo.
Do want to say thank you again to our game engine squad that built this lovely visualizer that we have today. It is absolutely incredible, and we also have a playable version of this game. Maybe if the community has their voice, you know, says they love it so much, maybe we'll release it to the community and they can have a play. Let's see if you can play against your bot. We'll see. Yeah, we have Yasin bot chasing Ballcube.
But out of nowhere.
Dark Soul one now was a good one.
Just boop, boop.
Another great camera work there. Yeah, we have Yasin bot with a size advantage launching a TP.
Going off, but someone got out of the way in time. Their own TP. Oh, another one. But he really quite well. Big facet of the game.
It is probably one of the biggest parts of this game, I'm not gonna lie. Slightly overpowered, we don't know.
Nerf TPs.
Nerf TPs. Request nerf TPs.
Come to forum.entelect.co.za.
Yes, the forum, that's correct. Where you can contact us anytime regarding the Insect Challenge. We're very keen for next year. You can go on there, have a look and see what we have done in the past. We give out communications. It is honestly a fantastic community. Yasin bot with the win again. Let's see this large Yasin bot.
Map though, but a lot of food left.
This is towards the end of this round. Yasin bot quite small, consuming food and using that food to instantly send torpedo salvos to what it seems like is Mech Botface. Let's see if the strategy actually ends up working.
Skirting around that edge quite
gracefully, like a swan.
Yeah, like a swan.
A small flyish swan. Let's see if Yasin bot can pull it back. It doesn't look like Mech Botface does take that win. Yeah, we see some interesting
Supernova going off.
Yeah.
Boyd right on top of her.
That's Neumann bot, I believe, or nickname. I can see there clearly. TP into the Supernova.
That's an interesting strategy since they're TPing in because they've got the mass and they could do with more speed.
Good, yeah. Sometimes reducing your mass to get speed is sometimes beneficial. But we'll leave that to the analysts to make that decision. We just the casters, yeah.
We just, yeah.
Yasin and Ballcube fighting out. They're quite large at this point.
Taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, Ballcube with a nice win at the end there. I really do enjoy the usage, the good usage of wormholes. During the match, players don't know which wormhole leads to which, so it's kind of a gamble. But you can maybe shoot a rocket into it and see where it comes out. That could be a good strategy of figuring out where those wormholes, and if you know where those wormholes are, you could use them so effectively. See the supernova there spawn in the middle of your, on the left side of your screen there. Black Botface takes it instantly and he committed something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
He hurt himself.
He hurt himself. Good. You can't hurt yourself in this game, so he's okay. Yasin Bot with the consumption there.
Launching a salvo, but teeping out. Huh. Just like that.
Yeah.
That blinking blue light there in the middle. Top.
So supernova again there. No one has claimed it yet.
Bots are kind of ignoring it for now.
Yeah.
Prioritizing actually mass and consumption.
Looks like it. McBotface with the double TP consumption there.
And nobody's going. Very interesting.
Yeah, it seems like they don't prioritize it as high as we thought they would. Blue Whale with some interesting tactics again. I think we need to discuss that with them one day. Botface with the consumption at the end of the day. I think he does end up... Do you see something funny there? I see something interesting. Remember, torpedoes go through wormholes. Now, I see a lone torpedo.
That is like an infinite...
That's an infinite...
And a supernova.
Like, I'm regardless of the supernova. I'm hyper-focused on that torpedo. Come on, bring back the torpedo. Come, cameraman. Come, cameraman.
Interesting. Oh,
do you think? Okay, what do you think the torpedo's still going? I think it's still going. I think it's still going.
Way.
Hey, there it is.
There it goes.
My friend, the lonesome torpedo. Let's actually. I think I zoom in into this because I find it quite interesting. What would you if you find yourself in this position, Christian?
No, I would just continue on my course and hope for the best. Like maybe someday my paths will cross with something or somebody.
Someone. Well, that was the end of round 3. Also, very cool scenes. I'm loving this, honestly. Yes. I'm having so much fun just watching these guys go literally all out. Now, let's look at the round 3 results. And in 8th place, we have Leroy Bot, followed in 7th place by Newman Bot with a nice... Not a nice, but in 6th place we have Darkstar Bot, and in 5th place we have Yasin Bot. That was quite a drop from Yasin there.
Yeah, actually Yasin, although he did quite well, but moving along, 4th place, and quite surprisingly got Nick.
We got Nick in 4th. That is incredible. I'm not going to lie, that is incredible.
What an underdog
moment right there.
Yeah. 3rd place, we're having a look at Blue Whale. 2nd place, Borg Cube. He moved one down previous to, and then number 1, McBotface.
With quite a large gap there. So maybe we'll see at the end of the analysis whether or not the final standings where Borg Cube might be on top, or will McBotface take the top.
Who knows? But let's hand over to our analysts on the panelists.
On the panelists, that's right.
Right, thanks, boys. Why don't we focus a bit on Yasin Bot? He seemed to have quite a good torpedo game, but it did seem like quite a bit of a double-edged sword, as in a few cases it doesn't give the bot a chance to gain enough size to become a compelling challenger to the other bigger bots. So while its defense is really quite good, if it does encounter a situation where it's cornered, that can cause a problem. However, it does pay off sometimes. But if that does happen without any resources to consume, that does cause quite a problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And we've also seen quite a few bots shooting torpedoes into gas clouds and asteroid fields, which is such a waste of their resources, as gas clouds and asteroid fields consume those torpedoes or they get damaged by them as well. But this means that the bot that they were targeting does not get that damage and essentially just wastes all that resources to shoot at it. It's also been very interesting from Darkstar, made a really impressive move there, teleporting to 2 smaller bots and consuming them quite quickly. Blue Whale made a very similar move, and it's very interesting to see if other players have coded against teleporters at all. I don't think we've seen it yet, where players are actively avoiding the teleporters if they're coming their direction. So it's interesting that many players have coded for it offensively, but none seem to have coded for it defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, on that torpedo point as well, it absolutely is a mechanic you could have used to really damage the environment around you, change it up for the other players. Maybe they weren't expecting that gas cloud to not be there anymore, and maybe they're relying on it for your tactics, or you craft a hole as an escape route. But we haven't really seen that tactic play out yet, and maybe it's coming up in the rounds ahead. In this last round, we saw some absolutely amazing dogfights. And also a couple of bloopers there as well. I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but there was a moment there where a torpedo just got stuck between two wormholes going over and over again. Maybe it was a strategy, but it didn't play out as far as we saw. It's also interesting to see how some rounds Supernova seems to get ignored absolutely entirely. Sometimes we saw a start of a match there where Supernova spawned out very early, and the players absolutely ignored it. They were busy with food, they were busy with teleporter, they weren't worrying about it. In other matches, we've seen them absolutely beeline for it, decide that this is what they're going to do, this is how they're going to change the game, this is how they're going to change the dynamic.
Seems to be a bit of an end game tactic that they only look at it if it's towards the end of the game and kind of ignore it at the start.
Absolutely, and I mean, additionally, we got a great question out on YouTube about whether or not there's ever been a stalemate, so I'm not sure if people have noticed, but as the game goes on, the world actually shrinks. We've got that red, fiery asteroid belt around the world, and it shrinks over time. So when we get down to very small matches, just 2 people left, the world's very small eventually. When they cross that threshold, they start to lose energy as well, so they have to come back from that and make a plan and decide. And at the end of the day, the world's only going to be as big as the last bot standing, and so there's never really a stalemate condition in this game. You've always got to make a choice. You've always got to try be the last one standing. With that being said, I think it's time to hand over to Purpose for an interview with another one of our contestants.
And welcome back. We have Purpose with us here this round. So Purpose, how do you feel moving into the top 3 this round?
Looks promising, though I'm not that confident yet.
Oh, no one knows what can happen.
Yeah.
So my first question is, what did you like about this year's challenge?
I liked the fact that it was multiplayer. Although it presented like a challenge at the beginning, I thought it would give an unfair advantage to those who did not interact with the game, just sat on the side until they come second. Yeah.
No, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. And speaking kind of on that topic, what strategies and tactics did you use when designing your bot, Blue Whale?
Yeah. In the first phase, I didn't have a strategy. Only in the second phase, I started shooting torpedoes because I saw the size didn't matter in the second phase, but you could shoot torpedoes and gain size from others, even if you are small. And then in the third phase, I ignored shooting completely except for torpedoes, for supernovas. I optimized the teleporter in the third phase.
Well, that tactic obviously worked for you because you've made it to the finals and to the top 3 this round. And yeah, it seems like a lot of the players are really enjoying the multiplayer. So yeah, thanks again for joining us here in the studio. We'll be handing over back to the host.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Purpose. That was awesome to hear you. Your bot is Blue Whale. That is incredible. So without any delay, let's jump into the overall leaderboard after round 3. And in 8th place, we have Net Nickname, followed by Leroy Bot in 7th, Newman Bot in 6th, and Darkstar in 5th.
Yes, in 4th place is Yasin Bot, 3rd place Blue Whale, 2nd place Borg Cube, and 1st McBotface. Interesting to see Net Nickname gain a big advantage in the previous round, closing the gap between him and Leroy Bot there.
Yes, and McBotface has now jumped Borg Cube into 1st.
Yeah.
Let's see if Borg Cube now, in round 4, will take back the lead, or will McBotface
Who knows?
stave off any challenges.
Let's see in round 4.
Go. Flying round 4, we have Blue Whale again in the center of our screen, followed by Leroy Bot and
Leroy
Ballcube
Bot doing
there.
some interesting dance moves
Yeah.
there.
Nice camera work.
Yes.
I'm going to say the game engine developers developed this
yeah.
entire engine from scratch. Not only did they develop the back-end systems which did the computation, they also developed this front end. With these incredible visuals.
Yeah. Reminds me of some of the old space strategy games I used to play when I was younger.
Yeah, it's definitely got that kind of retro-y vibe, plus this 3D-ness and like new technology. It's really, really cool.
Definitely, yeah. Supernova earlier only managed to hinder one player earlier.
Now we have Ballcube there stuck behind some asteroid belt there, getting chased by Yasin. Let's see if he actually maneuvers himself out of it. He's now
just
Yasin got there, might have left himself in the pickle because he's caught in the asteroid field and with the imminent closing of the Ring of Fire.
Losing some mass there from the Ring of Fire, I believe.
Doing very well. Left through, unfortunately gets consumed by McBotface with the win.
Quick in. Alright.
Here we have Ballcube at the bottom of our screen, throwing some torpedoes at an unknown bot at this point. Consumption by him, so it didn't actually matter who it was. Ballcube with some
incredible
TVs
teleporting, wow!
We've seen that throughout the match.
Yeah.
Throughout these rounds, the use of teleport has been absolutely key.
Yeah, it's just Ballcube in the center. It goes a TP off.
We have two bots right at the bottom there. Let's see if they can impose any danger to Ballcube in this round. This match round.
Ballcube trying his best to try and move towards them.
I think we saw a smaller bot use that wormhole to split between the two. Ballcube with a TP consumption.
Yes. Sending off another TP, as you can see there, right all the way.
All across the entire map. That was an incredible snipe from Ballcube there.
Absolutely amazing. Long distance teleportation.
Must be good at long distance relationships.
Darkstar, McBotface and Yasinbot, them all fighting it out there in the center.
Darkstar in that cloud taking some damage.
Took a lot of mass from those players, but unfortunately the cloud kind of came back to bite him.
Bite him in the fart.
In the fart. Impressive use of that afterburner to avoid that teleport, just like whoop.
Yeah, I know Nick name. We have Nick there doing what he does best. And ignore the bots. And he just loves food. He is a farmer.
He's a farmer.
He must be a farmer. He must.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, we've got some good farmers here in South Africa, so it doesn't surprise me. Not one bit.
That nickname a little bit, playing a bit chicken there with the boundary. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to win if he plays chicken with boundary. And Yasinbot just taking advantage.
Taking advantage of that mishap there from Nick.
Yeah. Got some exciting dance moves from everyone here. Disco Yasinbot.
Disco. Yeah, we're gonna. I think we might see it later this round. Some very interesting dance moves from contestants.
Exciting.
I want to know where they come from, but we'll wait until we get to that point.
Fortunately, Yasinbot keeps firing the missiles into the gas cloud, which nullifies.
Which nullifies this. Which nullifies completely, and he has used all of his mass to no avail. And McBotface takes that advantage and the win with it. Newman Bot.
Newman Bot just
that is the definition of being at the right place, the right time, ladies and gentlemen. He was just there minding his own business, farming away, and eventually gets consumed by McBotface.
Botface has a very good strategy of waiting and striking at the right moment.
I'm really enjoying it, but we will leave that to the analysts to discuss because that's their job.
Wait, they're getting paid?
You're getting paid.
I'm not getting
paid. Do it for the love, people. Do it for the love.
Exactly. Oh, that's an interesting snipe.
McBotface with a TP in to get Supernova and use it immediately on Leroy Bot. Unfortunately, gets consumed by Blue Whale. Blue Whale TPs into Supernova for another consumption, and then he TPs to the bottom for another consumption. Like I said, Blue Whale's been quite good. And stopped there. Is that a technique that we don't know about?
No. interesting to see what his
That is, I think that is interesting.
TP
to say
in,
the
yeah.
least.
Botface tipping in and again, and people firing at the Botface, but because of the wormhole, it just goes.
Deflecting those rockets
Yeah.
now all over.
Yeah. Look at that TP from the Botface. Yes, saw that happening.
And ladies and gentlemen, I think this is what Christian is referring to as the dance off between Leroy
Yes.
Bot and Big Impact Botface. There. Let's see. Let's zoom in and see what moves Leroy Bot has.
Yeah.
I think
There
that
are-
is the. Looks like a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle,
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
wiggle,
Definitely,
wiggle,
yeah.
wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
He really, I think it's my favorite
That is
move
my-
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they're locking eyes with each other across the dance floor, and they're mimicking each
I
other.
remember when I used to lock eyes on the dance floor, but we never used to perform this. Too ritual.
Interesting. It's
Yeah, they just run away from me every time. Leroy Bot continuing to do this dance.
Yeah, but let's be fair. It's earned him favor. He made it all the way to the second place in that
He
round.
did.
He just didn't care about anything else. He just went on to enjoy his life. He was living his good life.
Of an enjoyable round 4. Let's go right into the results. Take us away.
All right. So 8th place is Leroy Bot for dancing away the night. 7th place we've got good old Net Nickname. 6 is Blue Whale, and 5th place Neumann Bot.
Yes, and in 4th place we have Darkstar, followed by Yasin. And in 2nd place we have Ball Cube, which means in 1st place we have Mac Botface with another massive lead. Look at those points,
Indeed.
everyone.
That's
He has now. He's improved
He's
his
solidly,
lead.
yeah,
He's
he's
solidly
solidly taken a
Let's
lead,
see
yeah.
now we'll come back to the overall results right after a set of analysis from our analysts on the panelists.
Welcome back. Again, Ballcube using that teleporter so well to corral some of the smaller players, something that would have taken ages if you didn't use teleporter, as smaller bots are usually so much faster and so much quicker. So it's hard to move across the map if you're a big player, if you don't have that teleporter implemented. This is something we didn't expect at all as the engineers. We added teleporter as a purely defensive mechanism. We wanted something for the bots to escape with. So it's been much to our surprise that the players have implemented it so offensively. And that's the fun part of being an engineer with this community, is to see how they shape your gameplay.
Yes, that's right. And in those close dogfights, we were surprised how often shields were used and then dropped, and then they fire their own torpedoes. That was quite fun to see the showdown between the groups. And speaking of showdowns, there was quite a lot of action with the famous wiggle of indecision, where no bot is actually giving high enough priority to its surroundings, so it ends up oscillating between the bots, and that causes that very famous wiggle that we've all learned to love. But I believe that it's actually just a dance-off between the two to try to assert dominance between the others. What do you think, James?
Absolutely, I think they're definitely showing their prowess there. You know, small bot versus big bot. They got Jack Russell energy on that small bot side. Just because I'm small doesn't mean I can't take you on. You know, they really are putting it out there. The teleporter as well. You know, it's always fun as an engineer. You build something and you're like, I'm sure my user is going to use this function this way. And they use it that way. And it's always a wonderful time to see how it actually works out. We had another great question this time come up in the YouTube chat around whether or not the bots have full vision. So can they see the whole map the way we're seeing the whole map now today? Or do they only see a limited portion? You know, do they have a radius of sight? This year, they had a full vision of the map, and we can expand a little bit on why. You know, in previous years, we've done fog of war, we've done limited vision, so that people have to be very dynamic about making decisions. They can't plan out the whole route. They have to look at what map is coming up, what's ahead of them, make decisions, and then think about it again when the next set comes. This year, however, with there being 8 people in the map at one time, the world is changing because of how other players are using the world around them. And so you have to, even though you can see everything in the world, you have to constantly be looking out for what's changing, what's happening in the world. So there's no reason to put in fog of war because the map changes by itself without having to do it. So really, really interesting part of it, really interesting part of the design process, and just like that, like Jana mentioned about working with your community, seeing how they use it versus what you do. Up next, we're going to head over to another interview with another one of our contestants. So please, everyone, welcome Richard McKenzie.
Hello. Am I audible?
Welcome back, everyone, and welcome, Richard. Thanks for dialing in, man. How are you doing?
Oh, good, thanks. And you?
I'm good, I'm good. So what are you thinking about the finals thus far?
I'm just happy to be here. I'm enjoying it. So the results are actually secondary. This is great fun. So thanks very much.
Oh, well, we're happy to have you guys here. So my first question to you, of all the features we added in between the different tournaments, which one was your favorite?
Easily the teleporter. I think, as was earlier mentioned, that was a bit of a game changer. I think Yasin mentioned in one of the forums that it was possibly overpowered. He may be right, but yeah, I thought it was fantastic because it really changed the dynamic quite dramatically.
Yeah, definitely my favorite as well. It has a lot of applications.
Mm.
So what advice would you give to someone who's planning on starting in the Entelect Challenge next year?
I would say carry on going. I think it's quite easy to be put off, especially when, sorry, cat. It's quite easily, it's quite easy to be put off early on as things aren't quite going your way. And I would say carry on going. I think the prize money and the everything is a nice carrot, but the stuff that you learn just from taking part is far more valuable than that. So I think just keep going. As Leroy said, do small increments. Don't just try for a big bang thing, and yeah, have fun. I think that's probably the most important part.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you definitely then say like it's a very good way and a very good opportunity to advance your skills.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't so much about the coding actually. For me, it was more about the problem with this. Problem with the Entelect Challenge is I always have far more ideas than I have time or resources to implement. So I find myself with this long backlog of things to go through. So for me, the skill that I try and focus on is what is going to give me biggest bang for buck. And that's where I like to practice and get value. And this year seems to have gone a little better than previous, which is great.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for the insight, and we'll hand over back to our next ad.
Cool, thank you.
For the final piece of our spider, we'll be adding some raycasts to help it see. A raycast can be thought of as a beam that shoots out and tells you if it hits anything. So here we can see there's a bunch of raycasts represented by the blue arrows, one on the left and one on the right. Those are for detecting if the spider is going to hit a wall. Then we have those going down to detect the distance to the ground and if the spider is near ground. These can be used for a variety of uses, such as line of sight detection or checking distance. Finally, we can create an instance of our spider character inside our main scene alongside our world and hit the play button to run it. Here we can see it demo running, and there is our spider. I'll be using the arrow keys to just move him left to right, and we can see that those legs are creepy as hell, but they are working correctly. So we can move the spider up, move it down, and it should be able to turn corners as well. And here we go. Yeah, up we go. Creepy little bugger. Here we can see the raycast showing, which is just for interest's sake. Yeah, that's it from my side. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much, Mornay. Like, that was amazing. The likeness of your spider was quite eerie.
I thought it was creepy.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
No, definitely Fubs. I was like, no, not for me. Thanks, I appreciate it.
But in all honesty, an incredible tutorial for all of you out there that are interested in game development, or if you have any questions, throw them on the YouTube, on the chat. Let's see, maybe we'll reach out to you. But yeah, another cool intro to Godot from Mornay Fenter.
Thank you so much. So, moving along to our spot prize, question 3 winner. So the question was, what is the name of the developer behind the game that inspired Galaxio?
Yeah, that's right. And the game behind that inspired Galaxio was, in fact, agar.io, or Agar.io, right? And the winner today is Emil van der Hoven, at Emil Hoven, with the answer, Mateus Validaris. Cool name. But yeah, so that is the developer behind the game Agar.io. Congratulations.
You win yourself also a 200 Rand KFC voucher. So, before we jump into the final round, let's have a look at our overall leaderboard. In 8th place, we've got Leroy Bot. 7th place, Nickname. He moved up one in that, eh? 6th place, Neumann Bot. And 5th place, Blue Whale.
Yes, and in 4th place, we have Darkstar, with Yasin in 3rd, Ballcube in 2nd, and McBotface retaining his position numero uno. Yes. Right, and before we continue, I just want to remind everyone that these are the top 8 finalists of a pool of over 150 contestants throughout the year. So these are incredible. What these guys have achieved are really, really incredible.
Creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme, that's right. And now we move on to the final round of the Entelect Challenge 2021. Is everyone excited? I'm excited, and I think this is going to be some exciting.
We're just kicking it off.
Yeah, kicking it off. Let's go.
All right. So, quick start there. Supernova's already been deployed, and Blue Whale making headstrong way into the map.
TP down there, nice win
just
from
a quick
Blue
pop.
Whale.
Yes.
You see another
TP going astray at the top, following Darkstar here.
Let's see a nice TP from Darkstar. Let's see, he takes over Leroy Bot into Yasin. Crazy.
Oh. Fortunately, he's a
nice. He nearly dodged that TP, but unfortunately, McBotface's size was too big and he enveloped him.
Wasn't enough. Good camera work again.
Good camera work, smooth camera work. Yasin Bot with the consumption over Leroy Bot.
Going back there. Yasin Bot just gaining massive mass.
Massive
in
mass.
A short amount
massive mass. Must be hitting those protein shakes every day.
No regrets.
Every day. Yasin Bot with the win eventually.
Win, yeah. Interesting.
Botface with a double whammy.
That was almost a triple, but
into a supernova from Blue Whale. Unfortunately, he couldn't decrease in size to avoid the TP consumption.
Interesting, I saw the afterburner used there.
Good usage.
Trying to get out of everything.
Yeah, good usage from McBotface. Let's see, Neumann Bot can take this win. Unfortunately, Count McBotface does take the win on that account.
Early start here. Everyone's still gathering resources. Mass. Darkstar having a quick chomp.
Having a nice chomp, farming away there, nicely throwing that TP. Getting to the center of the map. Nice shield and TP usage. Good stuff from Darkstar.
Nice. Good things, Darkstar. Another TP going off. Won't be able to avoid. Salvo of torpedoes just getting absolutely fired and peppering
that other large bot that we don't know. The name Neumann Bot.
Neumann Bot and Darkstar takes the win.
Darkstar takes the win on that Neumann Bot there.
Neumann Bot doing the wiggle of indecision there, as the analysts have. Yeah.
Wiggle of indecision. What are you indecisive about?
Oh, there are many things in life I'm indecisive about, but I think the thing that I'm most indecisive about is whenever I order something and have to choose between chocolate and vanilla, it's always it's a nightmare.
For me, it's pizza.
Pizza.
I don't know which one to have. I just love them all. And Darkstar with another TV there.
So quick yomp right on the edge of the
Darkstar might have thought that other bot was a pizza, and because he had no indecision there, so he made it just
didn't.
He just ate it.
He knew what he wanted and he went for it.
Like all things in life, if you know what you want, go for it.
Oh, that's interesting. He just activated his afterburner. There was no danger. He just decided to.
Sometimes you just want some speed in life. Not that kind of speed, but speed in life.
Yeah, but doing another wiggle there. Early game again. Everyone's just very peacefully farming away. You could almost hear that classical music playing in the background, and then the war starts.
I don't even know what that is. It's not classical, that's a...
close enough. Ballcube getting out of the way there of that salvo. Yasin Bot putting up his shields to avoid. Unfortunately...
Ballcube with the consumption there, nice.
Firing torpedoes there, but unfortunately hits the asteroid field, so nothing comes of it. But as you can see, the asteroids there are actually getting broken up, and
Yeah.
smaller.
Unfortunately,
and
they couldn't get through there. I just want to say one thing, Christian. To all the viewers out there that are thinking of joining the Entelect Challenge 2022,
Yes.
what advice do you have for them?
Advice? I definitely say like just
do it.
Just do
Just
it.
try.
Like
Just try your hand.
Just start. Just put something together, get it out there, and then improve on that. You don't need to submit the perfect bot the first time round.
You know, it's like hackathon, right? You're not there to create beautiful code. Just go have some fun. You know, this is a perfect opportunity for you to try something new, try a new language, and I think it's a great environment. You know, the people at Entelect are very, very helpful, and
Indeed.
yeah, so
we answer you guys. If you guys got questions, we're always on the ball.
Yeah, see McBotface with the highest amount of mass at the moment. Let's see if he can clinch this win. Remember, he is currently leading the overall standings, and
should be interesting to see what happens after this round.
Yeah, 100%. I think if I had to put money on it, I got no money, so because I don't get paid, so I can't bet anything.
But we can see all three of the bots here just enjoying themselves. They're like, there's a moment of peace, you know, and a bot firing torpedoes there, but it's hitting the teleport.
Teleport is just diverting all of those torpedoes. That's great.
Poor Darkstar there just
tried his best. He did try his best.
He got the short end of the stick there, unfortunately.
It's like when you join Entelect Challenge, you should just try your best. You know?
Exactly.
It's always a learning opportunity. As an Entelect, we say growth is not optional.
Yes, definitely not.
Like in this game, you grow.
You grow, and it's not optional. You have to do that if you want to. Yeah.
You'll perish.
Another win there. All right. Early morning skirmish.
Nice avoidance TPing there by Borg Cube. I'm being very impressed by his
Norman bot heading straight into that asteroid and gas cloud.
Bot picking up the supernova. Will he use it in time before he dies? No, I believe McBot doesn't consume, so he didn't die. He's got consumed.
Unfortunately. Oop. Borg Cube
navigating those gas clouds quite effectively. McBot with a double TP. I think, if I'm being honest, ladies and gentlemen, McBotface has absolutely been firing on these last 3 rounds. He has, he's come out off the blocks. Slow start from him, but he's been super consistent with that wiggle right there.
Just learning and
just lurking, waiting really.
Yeah.
It's like waiting for the right time to strike.
Exactly. He's waiting for his opponent to make a mistake, maybe like going to an asteroid field where he's slow, or a gas cloud where he loses mass.
Do you think he gets dizzy?
No, not
I would
at
get
all.
dizzy. I would get dizzy.
There's no direction in space. There's no
okay,
up, down.
Blue Whale, I think, is joining in on the...
Oh, maybe he got FOMO? It's like, oh, that he looks like
You know, I
he's
don't know
having fun
FOMO
over
because I would get dizzy. And Blue Whale's even doing the switcher. And
this is exciting
content
happenings.
right here, ladies and gentlemen. Please remember to like and subscribe to the Entelect YouTube channel. We post things, we post really cool things daily. Not daily. Bianca's gonna clap me if I say we post things daily.
Ooh, interesting there.
Yeah,
not moving away from that ring, unfortunately, and Borcube just
McBotface
made a mistake
takes
there,
the win, and that is the end of round 5.
Indeed. So
we're not going to go into the overall standings now because we're going to keep that till after.
Yes.
The analysts.
We want to keep it a little bit of a suspense, you know, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So we're going to hand over for the last time, to our analysts on the panelists.
Yeah, so welcome back everyone to an absolutely crazy end to this round 5, the last round of this year's challenge. And what an amazing ending it has been. Came right down to the wire there. It's been a close ending. Battle all the way through, absolutely. It's been wonderful to see also, you know, we've been explaining some of the questions out there from the YouTube chat and from the Twitch chat as they go along. And we saw there in that last match, you know, just on that stalemate question and on the dominoes question, you know, we see that they kind of pause, wait for each other to figure each other out, wait to see what's happening next, and then something changes about the world, you know, that world circle shrinks, and eventually someone's got to do something, and that's how we completely avoid a stalemate. So we saw there McBotface being able to just hold, stay still, keep his dancing moves going for that little bit longer, and absolutely keeping it in touch there. We also saw a lot of teleport sniping going on, but it's also really interesting to watch how some of the other players deal with it. So we see a lot of it in the early games. We see a lot of those teleporters going out, people trying to get each other very quickly. McBotface seems to have developed a strategy over these 5 rounds of just holding back, waiting, going on a bit on his own adventure, collecting some food and waiting it out. And once the rest of the field has sorted themselves out, maybe there's 4 or 3 people left, then he starts to snipe people as well. We also saw an amazing reaction there from McBotface, where we had Blue Whale throwing a supernova his way, and McBotface using that teleporter to narrowly escape the supernova, and on top of that, then also consume Blue Whale as well. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting to see how people have used the mechanics. Jana's going to touch on the teleporter for us a little bit, and how we've spoken about how we thought it was going to be used. But it's really interesting to see. There's a very little usage of Afterburner through these rounds, and some of you may be asking, why? It's a mechanic. They can use it. They can speed up. They can get away from their enemies, and we've actually been having some fun chatting to some of our contestants that are here today with us in the background while we've been watching these videos, and they've had some wonderful insights for us. So one of the primary takeaways for us is really, when Afterburner is used, it just doesn't give you the kind of advantage that firing a salvo of torpedoes. So sending out torpedoes costs the ship energy. That makes them smaller and makes them able to be more evasive. So Yasin uses this absolutely amazingly to make sure you can keep collecting food, keep dodging the bigger bots. But Afterburner just didn't have the same sort of effect for them, wasn't getting them to move fast enough, soon enough, and it's kind of why we didn't see it. So it's always interesting to get those sort of reflections.
Yeah, especially since we try and balance all these features over the year. So it always surprises us when one is very much undervalued and one is very much overvalued, but it's how we learn as well. I would also say that Darkstar has been quite a dark horse this round, causing quite a few upsets for some of the other bots and keeping the other bots on their toes, which is really good to see. It's also been very interesting from the engineer's perspective to see that bots walk the very fine line between artificial intelligence and what I call automated incompetence. But it's good to see this year that pretty much all the bots are on the right side of this line, and it's really up their decision-making skills this year. So it's really putting us in a good position, and I'm very excited to see what the community brings next year in terms of the bots' intelligence and decision-making, and see how they handle our next year's challenge.
Yes, isn't that right? Yeah, it looks like the big bots can really get themselves stuck into those spin-offs that we have tokened this year. When they don't have enough smaller players around to keep their interests, they kind of want to challenge each other in what I believe is kind of a stress out until the other one kind of freaks out and sort of gives up. That's my personal takeaway. But this is the final round. Thank you so much to everybody who's playing. We really love the feedback. We loved hearing about how our mechanics were used in all these weird and wonderful ways, and we'll definitely be adapting for next year. We hope to see you all next year when we have some great new mechanics in store for you. And with that being said, James and Jana, we came, we saw, we analyzed a little bit, and now for the final round, we give it back to our beautiful boys, our hostess with the mostest. Come back on stage.
Thank you so much, analysts and the panelists. Who came up with that, please? Because I definitely try to remove it from my script, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I'm not saying it's me, but it's me.
Probably was you, yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the last time we've seen the panelists, and they've been absolutely fantastic today.
Giving us real insight, real insight into how the things work.
But before we continue, I do want to say a big thank you to our sponsors today, KFC and Comic-Con Africa, and also to MGG Studios for hosting this awesome in-person event.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our matches, and we will now be showing you the final results. Can Borg Cube take back the lead and be crowned the Entelect Challenge champion? Or will McBotface defend his prize in the result? So, starting from the bottom, in 8th position, we have Bjorn Liebenberg. Well done. You have landed yourself a solid 10,000 Rand.
Incredible.
Well done.
Congratulations. And in 7th position, we have Leroy Dunn, also winning himself a 10th of 100,000 Rand.
A 10th of 100,000.
Which is?
Indeed.
10,000
10,000 Rand, if my maths is correct. In 6th place, well done to Timothy Foster. You have won yourself 10,000 Rand as well. That's cold ass cash in your pocket.
Is that 10,001 Rands?
It can
or
be.
one 10,000 Rand.
We don't have those.
don't-
We shouldn't have those. Moving along.
Moving along, in 5th place, we have Richard McKenzie. Congratulations, you have also won yourself 5,000 Rands.
Like singular, like a 5,000 Rand times
yes,
2.
that's right. So 10,000 Rand.
10,000 Rand. Amazing, amazing, amazing. In 4th place, we're shaking it up. Purpose Katakwa. Well done. You've won yourself 25,000
Are
Rand.
you lame? It's a quarter of 100,000 Rand.
I'm not lame, I'm just practical.
Practical. 25. Congratulations, Purpose.
Man,
And
that
in-
is amazing.
And in 3rd place, coming back to our top 3, guys, you guys have been absolutely incredible. Aman Yassin also winning yourself 25,000 Rand. And just remember, this is the youngest contestant we've had on the Entelect Challenge. That is absolutely
something,
phenomenal. Please,
yeah.
virtual hands, everyone.
Please. Absolutely amazing. And then, moving on to our 2nd place, we have Harvey Euster winning yourself 35,000 Rand.
That is amazing.
That is a lot of money. That is an amazing thing. Like, you've done well. You fought your best fight. I think you deserve every single penny.
Yeah, and that leaves us to the last member of this top 8, and I think we all know who it is. In 1st place, we have Rionel. Congratulations, you are the Entelect Challenge 2021 champion. That is winning yourself 70,000 Rand. That is a lot of money.
70K.
That is a lot of money.
I can do a 70K.
You know, when we were asking we don't get paid for this?
Oh,
I know where all the money
okay,
goes.
that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But well done. You've put in a lot of work. Your bot has come out on top, and you can now reap the rewards of that which you sowed.
Christian, how long is the Entelect Challenge? How long does it last?
How long does it
How
last?
long does it last?
Almost the entire year.
Almost the entire. These gentlemen have been working the entire year, and it's not
Constantly.
It's not once.
No.
Every time we do revisions, we make changes.
Yeah.
They're on top of those changes, and they absolutely just create the best bots in South Africa.
No,
in South
definitely.
Africa.
Definitely. I mean, every time we add a new feature, they have to implement it. Every time we change the values of features, I mean, torpedoes were way more powerful in the 2nd tournament than they were now. So it's been an absolute blast.
I'm saying this 70,000 Rand win is completely deserved. It is
100%.
incredible.
He's stuck with us through the entire year. So with that being said, how about we hear from our top 3?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Let's go. Top 3, let's go.
All right, interview.
And welcome back, everyone. It was a very, very interesting finals, and I'm welcoming Aman here with us on stage. Well done, man. You snagged 3rd place. And for the youngest contestant in the Entelect Challenge, that's very well done. Very well done. How are you feeling?
I'm fine.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You did really, really well. So, if I can ask you, what made you enter the Entelect Challenge this year?
I got to know about Entelect this year, and I was invited on the open day, and then that's how I got to know. And then I just joined this challenge just to have fun.
Well, that's awesome. Having fun is a very important part of it, and you scored quite a bit of cash out of it as well. Well done. So, a question about your bot this time. Did you pick a preferred language to write your bot in, or did you go with something new?
I knew C# a bit, but then I just groomed on C#, so it was a nice experience.
That's awesome, that's awesome. Growing the basics as you go. And as a first-timer this year, and one of our top 3, what advice would you give to someone who's planning on jumping in next year?
Just try. You won't lose anything if you just try. Yeah, that's it.
That's very true, it's very true. Well, thanks a lot again for joining us, and congratulations on that 3rd place.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll be joined by Javi. Welcome here in the studio with us, Javi. How are you doing?
Yeah, thanks. Good, and you?
I'm good, I'm good. I think you're doing a little bit better than good. You snagged 2nd place. Well done.
Yes, no, it's always good to win some money.
That's very, very true. So this isn't the first year that you've actually joined the Entelect Challenge, right? How many years have you partaken in this?
Yeah, so today I found out I'm a bit of an Entelect Challenge veteran. So this is my 3rd year taking part. 2nd time in a row that I ended up 2nd place now, so maybe in the future there's something to go for.
Well, as long as you're partaking every year, learning something new and having fun, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So, being a veteran in the Entelect Challenge, you've probably known that we've had a multiplayer game in the past. How are you feeling that we reintroduced it this year?
I'm very excited for the multiplayer part of the game. I think it brings some exciting gameplay features that you wouldn't get with just a normal 2-player game. You have to take into account what every single player on the map does and how that influences your bot.
That's very true, that's very true. Adds a lot of variables to take into account. Yes. So, would you consider this year's challenge more challenging and fun than the last 2 years that you've taken part?
Yes, I would definitely consider this one very much fun because of the multiplayer aspect of it. It was also very challenging, seeing that one round your bot can be taken out early on by being picked on by all the other bots. So that was a part of it, and it was very exciting.
Yeah, it was very interesting finals. A lot of things happened, a lot of shake-ups, but congratulations again on 2nd place.
Thank you very much.
And next, we will be joined by our winner, Rian. Welcome in studio, Rian. Thank you for dialing in. How are you feeling?
Thank you very much. I'm feeling really good. It was a nerve-wracking final.
Yes, it was. A lot of shake-ups. So how are you feeling about snagging that 1st place?
I think it's great. I've been in the finals in the past, so like Javi, I'm probably a bit of a veteran as well. And the finals are always so closely matched. Like you can't know who's going to win going into it, because like everyone in the final is just a very, very strong competitor.
Yeah, that's very true. We had some close matches there. So, being a veteran, if we can use the word, what would you say was your favorite feature this year?
I think that the fact that it became more of a real-time game rather than turn-based, and then with the additional complexity of literally being able to move in 360 degrees in this wide open space, it really forced me to rethink how I do things, because I've always, in every challenge, kind of taken the learnings out of the previous one. And in a world where you can move up, down, left, right, and shoot at something, you've got a combination of 5 different moves. To take that into a scenario where suddenly you have to analyze moving in 360 different directions, shooting at things, being shot at, it really forced me to rethink my approach.
Well, new game, new challenges, right?
Exactly.
So, of all the features that we added in between the different tournaments, which would you say was your favorite?
I think the teleporter was a game changer, because initially I wasn't sure if you could use it as like an offensive weapon or just dodging stuff. And I actually had an interesting problem that right from the very first round, I couldn't figure out a decent way of dealing with wormholes. And then I implemented support for the teleporter, and figured out this thing is actually almost exactly like a wormhole. So I only built in the wormhole functionality into my bot in the last round, even though that was there right from the beginning. And the teleporter is what opened the door for me on that.
Well, it obviously helped you. You snagged first place, right? So the last question I have for you, right? In the Entelect Challenge, would you consider that it gave you an opportunity to improve on your skills?
Definitely, and I think it forces you to think about the kind of things you don't generally do working as a developer. It's a very different paradigm from taking something from a front end and putting it into a database, which is, as much as we sometimes get some exciting projects, I think the bulk of a career as a developer often comes down to take from screen and put in database. And this is just, there's so much going on, and you can actually visually see it doing something. You're competing against other people. So yeah, the challenge, I think, definitely forces you to get in there and learn something new.
Well, challenging, fun, and then a cash prize to boot. Well done again on being
Thank
our
you very much.
2021 finalist. And we'll handing over back to our hosts.
Once again, a massive congratulations to all our 8 finalists, and especially to our top 3, as you can see here. Like, another round of applause for them. It was an absolutely amazing
Congrats
event.
on Man, Javi, Rian. You guys are effectively the top 3 in South Africa. That's incredible.
That is something to brag about and something you can take away a lot of pride. So let's have a look at the final leaderboard.
And in 8th place, we have Nick Name.
7th place, Leroy Bot.
And in 6th, we have Newman Bot.
And then in 5th, Dark Star.
In 4th place, we have Blue Whale.
And then the top 3 is Yasin Bot in 3rd place.
Borcube in 2nd.
And McBotface in number 1, with quite the considerable lead. Well done. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that brings us to the end, hey,
It
Fabs?
does bring us to the end, but before we close off, I have to say a massive thank you. Once again, I can't say thank you enough to Comic-Con Africa. They are phenomenal to work with. Like some of the best people.
It's been an amazing journey.
Absolutely
like,
amazing.
They've been with us there every step.
Yeah. KFC as well. Thank you for the
Yes.
vouchers and just being our sponsor today. It's been really cool. I'm
Yeah.
going to have some KFC after this. I'm hungry.
Definitely. I can feel my tummy rumbling.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been long. And then once again, NGG Studios, thank you so much for setting up all of this. It's just been phenomenal.
Yeah, and in
It's been-
conjunction with Luo Pro Technical Consulting, they have been behind the scenes has been flawless. This is not an easy job, but they have done an amazing work. So, guys out there, if you want to contact us, please go to the challenge.intellect website. If you want to send us an email, you can send us challenge@intellect.co.za, or you can go to the forum. What else is there to say, Christian?
I mean, not much. I mean, from now, I guess it's until next year. Auf Wiedersehen, huh?
No, auf Wiedersehen until next year. Arrivederci.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Have a fantastic Saturday. You guys are absolutely amazing. And yeah, we're looking forward to hosting this again next year. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Soon we'll be having our next year's ideation, not implementation yet.
Yeah, so that's a thing that we use in our industry to make sure we don't go off track. But one thing, what is your favorite part of today?
Favorite part of today, it has to have been seeing real time how these bots just interact with each other and like make their decisions and just what they did with what we gave them.
100%.
Like it's really awe-inspiring to give something to somebody and to watch them work with it.
Yeah, so we had recently at Entelect, and fantastic company. We had John Romero come talk to us, and what he said, and he's the developer of Quake, I believe. He said, once I've developed the game, it's no longer mine, it is now the community's. That's exactly the same at Entelect Challenge. We develop it and we give it to the community. So, on that note, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys watch this video over and over again because it was awesome.
It was great having you guys here. Have a wonderful Saturday. And I guess...
Bye.
Goodbye. Woo!
I'm Troy Baker. I'm Nolan North.
I'm William Shatner, and this is Comic-Con Africa.
Silence in the dark, thought that I see when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find